Hello, everyone. I pray that all is doing well, and I am back doing another video. The last time I was here, I was kind of talking about she had no one, right? And I was just kind of tapping on different things that I had, gone through or just was experiencing during the writing of my book, and just telling little different stories. And one thing that I wanted to make clear of this in this video that I made clear of in the last one was that don't mistake my book for anything other than me telling my story. It really doesn't matter what people think about this book that I have written, because it's not about them. I mean, it's about them, but it's not about them. When you get to a space in your life where your vision is becoming more clearer, your understanding is becoming more clearer, let's just keep it simple, then your care for people that disagree with what you're doing, it decreases, because you understand that, again, it's not about them, it's about you and your healing. And so me writing, and I love showing you this because I have to keep showing you this little girl because she had a life. Her life was a lot. And this little girl, she cared about what people thought. She cared about what people said. She cared about the opinions of others. She cared about it because she needed some direction, but didn't really understand that, and didn't know that everyone around her had no clear direction themselves. But when you're young, you're looking up to people in a way of rescue, almost like, or guidance. You're looking for them to show you things, teach you things, but everyone is so misguided, and you don't really find out how misguided everyone is until you decide to go the opposite of everybody else. And so I take pride in this book. I take pride in my work, mistakes and all. I take pride in it because I know who I am. I know who I've always been. And I understand that there has always been a light on the inside of me that just really agitated people that were close to me and people that were around. So my life just consisted of mean people, bullies. If I wasn't getting it at church, I was getting it at school. If I wasn't getting it at school, I was getting it at church. So there was no escape. But I am so grateful that in the past 3 years, I have been able to hone in and get to know me a lot more. And most importantly, I get to know and develop my own relationship with the Most High Yah. That is our creator, the creator of everything. So that is a beautiful thing when you can get to know the creator for yourself and look back at everybody that I'm saved. I have a relationship with God, but they're displaying nastiness or ugliness or chaos, or it's just horrible. So one of the things that I wanted to tap on, I'm going to talk about this church thing because we need to talk about it. Church, growing up, people would always say the church is the safe place. The church is where you find refuge. right? The church is a place where when you can't go anywhere else, you can go there. Well, I'm going to debunk that because it's not true. As I stated before in my video, the church is not the place for you to obtain true, real deliverance, because it's a game. It is a money game. It is a selfish game. It is a nasty game. It is the blind leading the blind, because no one displays Galatians 5:22 and 23. Like, no one displays that. And the only one that I've seen in my life display this book, Galatians, is my grandmother. And my grandmother, such a gracious woman, and maybe a couple of others. Let me not say nobody, but like Evangelist Burt, she would always say, "Hey, my Emma May." She was always genuinely happy to see Emma. And then you have Mother Jones. Mother Jones was always precious and excited to see me, and Sister Gooseby, and who else? It was Mother Lee. Hey, my sunshine. She would always call me her sunshine. But outside of that, no, it was not. It was not there. No one displayed it. So in this book, you know, it's not a happy book, probably until you get like close to the end. Close to the end. But everything in here is are my stories. They're not good stories. They're not good stories pertaining to the place that everyone says is a safe space. It's not. It is so unfortunate, because when I was younger, I used to be like, if everybody is G-O-D, 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 or L-O-R-D, if everybody is so saved and everybody is so righteous in their living and in their moving and in their being, then why is everybody so nasty? I could not understand it. I couldn't understand why people were so mean. Most importantly, I couldn't understand why the leaders of that place were so mean. Leon and Charlotte, I did not understand why they were so mean. And I know mean. That word is just being nice. I'm just being nice, right? But they were so evil. They were so evil. I don't know really too much about anybody else. I mean, I've seen things and I've witnessed things, but to me, to her, I want to say her, because the me now is not going to tolerate it. But her, she just did not understand why they were so mean to her. And this is the place where G-O-D resides. And this is the place where G-O-D is, right? He's supposed to be there, right? No, it's not. And looking back on it, it's like the pride that was displayed, even in doing the wrong to her, it was gross. I can do what I want to do to her. Nobody's gonna say nothing, and nobody said anything. It was just nasty. The hypocrisy was just nasty. But out of the heart comes the truth. Out of the heart, the mouth speaks. And what was spoken to her was out of the hearts of those who do not have a heart for truth, for purity, nor for the Almighty Creator. No good thing dwells within them. And I mean that to the core. No good thing dwells within Leon and Charlotte and Christian and Krishanda and Cherie. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been. And that's just naming a few. But those those 5, they didn't have it for her. They didn't have it for her. But let's get off of Zion and Leon and Charlotte and those 3. And let's move to LMCA. LMCA, Lobia's Murray Christian Academy, was a school that came from Lobia's Murray Christian Church. And they were just like Zion. LMCA is one of the most known Christian churches in the DFW, in the Dallas area. I think they're off of Highway 20. One of the worst, and I'm gonna say the worst because I experienced the worst from LMCA. Not so much the church setting, but if you're the school from the church and you're doing this in the school, it's no different from the church. It's not. This is a church that no earrings, no makeup, no pants, long hair, clear nail polish, and Vaseline. To them, that's being saved, right? And they would always say, holiness is right. Holiness is still right. But what part of holiness that is right when you are bullying and constantly talking about and constantly embarrassing and humiliating a child, right? So when I started going to LMCA, I didn't know anybody, of course, and that was fine. You know, I'm the new girl. Well, Emma's the new girl, and nobody liked her. Nobody wanted to be friends with her. They just talked about her. They just talked about her. They just every day it was a joke. Every day it was torture, even down to, I'm gonna fight you. Why? Because you don't like me? But LMCA, let LMCA tell it, they're closer to heaven than anybody else is. So when I started going to this school, I ended up, Emma, let me show you, this girl ended up making one friend. Her name was Kenyasha. And Kenyasha was really, really nice to her. Kenyasha was the only one that was nice to Emma. And Emma was fine with that, right? Because Emma had learned from another school that she truly is set apart from the crowd. It is just what it has always been. Emma has always been set apart. But when Emma and Kenyasha were friends, there were other students, other girls trying to get her to not befriend me, right? Or befriend Emma. And again, I go back and forth with Emma and me because the new me, has to experience, I have to feel all of what Emma went through. It's still me, but it's not me. So they didn't want her to be Emma's friend. And so I'm glad she had a mind of her own at the time, because she was like, y'all don't even know this girl. Why y'all even, messing with her? But during all of that, there was this young boy, the most popular guy in the school, named Rodney Canyon. Listen, I don't have a problem saying names. I don't have a problem naming names. That's just what it's about, because you have to expose every bit of the trauma and the trauma that is given from people, whether they are comfortable with it or not. Sidebar. But there was a guy named Rodney Canyon who thought Emma was just the cutest thing. Now keep in mind, Emma did not think she was cute. Emma thought she was just ugly based on what people said about her and what they trained her to think of herself. That's how dangerous church is. They train you to think the opposite of what you're supposed to be thinking. They had her thinking she was ugly, but Rodney thought she was just the cutest thing. Well, long story short, Rodney started walking Emma to class and meeting her after class and eating lunch with her and just different things like that. And then one day, Kenyatta came to the classroom. When class was over, she met Emma at the door with a note that said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" Listen, Emma, I already knew who it was from, right? And Emma was happy because, okay, y'all don't like me, the most popular boy in school do? Yeah, I'm gonna be his girlfriend. That was in Emma's mind. So Emma didn't care. So Emma and Rodney starts dating. And when I tell you, it just became this big ordeal about Emma and Rodney. You don't need to be talking to her. She ugly, she this and she that, and like nobody wanted him to talk to this girl. Because according to them, her hair is nappy, her uniform shirt is dirty, and, her teeth are raggedy, and, she's not worthy of dating you. Not the popular guy in school, but we in church, but we saved, but we're living a Godly life, a godly life. How? How can you represent a creator who is beautiful in all of his ways, and you're nasty and you're moving like a snake? Like how? I never understood that. Emma never understood that. Anyway, so when Emma and this guy starts to date, Emma's riding it. Like, yep, it's my boyfriend. Yep, can't tell me nothing. It's my boyfriend. Well, one day, the students were going around saying, "I got 5 on Courtney. I got 5 on Courtney. I got 5 on Courtney." I did not understand anything that they were saying. I did not care because Emma just finished having breakfast with her boyfriend, and she was riding a wave, and she didn't care about what anybody else had to say. And so Emma, she goes into science, her classroom, the science class. I think that was her first period. Excuse me, that's her first period. And Rodney comes into the classroom, and he was like, "Emma, are you and Courtney getting ready to fight?" I was like, "Huh?" He was like, "Why are y'all getting ready to fight? What are y'all fighting for?" I said, "Oh, that's why everybody's saying they got 5 on Courtney. Because they're betting that Courtney is going to beat me up." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm about to make sure that everybody lose their $5. everybody's gonna lose their vibe. No, no, Emma, no, no, y'all don't need to be fighting. Y'all don't even know each other. No, that's fine. I don't know her, but I'm about to put these hands on her. No, Emma, no, no, no. Let me go talk to Courtney Washington. Let me go talk to Courtney. Let me go talk to her because y'all don't need to be fighting. And that's one thing about Rodney. Rodney had a very, very kind heart. And that was why one of the reasons why Emma was like, yes, because he saw beauty in Emma when Emma didn't see it in herself, and definitely nobody around saw it in her. So he made her feel good. He made her happy on the inside, which is what saved folks, if you really save, if you're really living the life of righteousness, is supposed to do. You're supposed to bring happiness to other people. You're supposed to love on the fatherless, right? But we don't know that because we don't read. However, he leaves out of the classroom. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I'm getting ready to sit in my desk. And then shortly after, he comes back and says, everything's fine. She's not going to fight you. Okay, well, I just want you to know that if she comes in this classroom and she tries to fight me, I'm going to fight her. I said, well, why did she say she was going to fight me anyway? He says, because she was just like, she going to hurt you. I was like, what? I was like, what? Okay. You don't even know me to even know how I am. You don't even know my character. You don't even know my heart. You didn't even know me before I got to this school. He was like, just don't even worry about it. We just not. Listen, cool. Okay, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna fight. But every day, Courtney Washington, Larry Washington, Shabrita McShann, there was another Larry that was in my class, Portia, people out of Rodney's class. I don't remember all their names, because if I did, I would say it. They tortured me every day, talked about me, made fun of me. It was nonstop. So to the point where you had the teachers, Miss Braggs and Mr. Bowens, laughing, and other teachers, even the principal, Mr. Robinson. Everybody laughed, and everybody just, who saved? Who? Again, who? The only one that displayed some type of righteousness towards Emma, as far as the adults, was Mr. Hawkins. Mr. Hawkins was the music teacher, and I loved music class. Emma loved music class because she get to do the very thing that she's always wanted to do, that the Most High gifted her with, was to sing. And he made me sing all the time. And I sung all the time. When Emma sang, everybody was nice. But when she wasn't singing, it was just like, oh, you ain't good for nothing. But when you sing, you make me happy. But when you're not singing, I want to pick on you. I just feel like fighting on you. I just feel. But these are people that profess to be the child of the Most High. Let me say child of God. Here's the thing, because there is a huge difference. Everybody that claims to be a child of God or saved and righteous and holy and all this stuff, they do not display, on my page, they do not display Galatians 5 and 22. They don't display it. It says, but the fruit of his ruach, which means spirit, is love, joy, peace, purpose, persistence, goodness, faith, humility, discipline, wisdom, knowledge, and truthfulness. No one displayed this. So when I say I was getting it, if I wasn't getting it at Zion, I was getting it at LMCA. If I wasn't getting it at LMCA, I was getting it at Zion. I wasn't getting it at home either, but that's a different topic. But how can you profess to be a part of someone who is greater, who is supreme, and you're displaying the acts of Satan? You're displaying the acts of wordlessness, wicked ones. How? Like how? You know, bitter and sweet cannot go, right? Light and darkness cannot mix. It just doesn't. Which is why Emma never fit in. Emma never fit in. No matter where she went, she never fit in because her light was too bright. But no one is displaying peace. No one is displaying purpose, humility. Everybody is chaotic. Everybody is just doing whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, whyever they want to do it, because I'm grown. I'm going to say what I want to say. And like, where's the humility? But everybody's prideful. You can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing because they saved. No, you are not. And I'm going to say you are not. I don't care how long your skirt is. I don't care how clear and clean your face is. I don't care how long your hair goes down your back. I don't care how many coats of clear nail polish you put on your fingers or your toes. And I don't care about the caked up Vaseline you put on your lips. If you're inside, if your heart is not pure, your actions will not be pure. Your actions will not be of love. Your actions, your words are going to always sting like a bee. Always. Always. So tell me where holiness is right. Whose holiness? You had to have made that up. You had to. Anyway, I want to go back a little bit. I want to give you Galatians 5, but I want to give you 19, verses 19, 20, and 21. Listen, like I said in my last video, my grandmother would love me because I'm in this word and I'm getting it for myself. I'm getting it for myself. You can't give it to me. Nobody that Emma grew up around can give it to me. And if it was given to her, it was given to her to manipulate and to connive and to convict her. But the word, when given pure, convicts you itself. It doesn't need your help to convict people. Anyway, verse 19 says, now the works of the flesh are obvious to all Yahuans, children of Yah, and even to most unbelievers, such as adultery, sexual immorality, uncleanness, lustfulness, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, strife, jealousies, outbursts of passions, rivalries, divisions, heresies, envying, murders, drunkenness, orgies, and things like these, of which I tell you now, as I also told you in times past, that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of El Yah, Almighty Creator. But everybody is convinced that they on their way to heaven. Everybody is convinced that they are on their way to heaven when you are nasty at heart. That's why the Father says, search out your own salvation. Don't let mere men teach you, because they are led in the flesh. They are. I want to read a little bit out of LMCA's chapter. Really quick. I want to read a little bit to you as to why Emma just really hated this school. Hated this school and hated the people around. There was something called Senior Day. I don't know if they do it still. I don't know. I hadn't been in school in years. But this particular LMCA had a thing where the seniors could pick somebody on their senior day, giving their thanks and their gratefulness to, getting ready to graduate or whatever. They had this thing where they would pick somebody out of the class or out of the school that they could talk about over the pulpit or when they're giving their speech. Now, mind you, Senior Day, you have parents, friends, neighbors, you got everybody that works at the school, you got other classes. Like, the chapel was full from the pulpit to the door, right? And this is what happened to Emma. It was close to the end of the school year, and every year the seniors were allowed to talk about individuals on a particular day before they graduated. I just knew that I was going to be a part of that in some way. Well, that day had come, and it was time to go to the chapel. It was crowded with family and friends of the senior class, and of course, all the students and teachers from both buildings. I remember Alton. I don't remember your last name, but I remember your name. I'll never forget it. Alton. Alton was his name. He was the one who was given the duty of blasting those individuals that were chosen. Then came me. I was the final student to be blasted. It went like this. Last but not least, the graduating class would like to leave a lifetime subscription to any dental office for Emma and her raggedy teeth. The crowd went wild with laughter. Teachers, preachers, founders, family, and friends, and of course me. But what could I do other than join in with the laughter? I had to ease the pain in some type of way, right? How do you recover from this environment? How do you recover from this? That day was one of the most embarrassing days of Emma's life. How can we profess to be something, a part of someone who is so magnificent and pure in all his ways, and this is what we do to people? And we get satisfaction. We feel good. We feel good when we do people like this. We feel, it makes us more prideful. It makes us feel like we have the authority to do this to whomever, whenever we feel. I didn't pull up the statistics, but if you go do your research, do you know how many students, kids Children are killing themselves, are offing themselves because of things like this. Go do your research. You have kids young as 7 that are killing themselves or trying to commit suicide because of the torture from bullies that they experience on a daily basis. So yes, she had a problem with their God because she didn't understand. If God is this loving, patient, long-suffering, understanding, merciful, if he's that, what are y'all? You can't be that. So I don't want your God. I don't want your God. I don't want him. I don't want him. You cannot imagine how this girl felt on that day. You can't imagine. I have to feel this. I have to go back and dig all of this stuff up and feel this for her because she could not do it. She couldn't say anything. And if she did, it would fall on deaf ears. She couldn't protect herself. No one protected her. So when I say she had no one, she had no one. She had no one. No one. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind how we run around and jump around. And yes, I say we because I did it too. I did it too. We run around and we jump and we yell and we scream and we slob and we speak in all types of gibberish that we are trained to speak in. And we're nasty. And they always say, don't leave the way that you came, when everyone is leaving the same way that they came. That is a problem. That is a problem. That is a problem. And I say we because I did it. I was the same way. And that is not how the Most High Yah wants us or requires us to be. It's impossible. Life goes on. Emma's still in a relationship with Rodney. And it is what it is. Emma milked it. And Emma was like, whatever. But Emma had to be that way. Emma had to be that way. Because she was dealing with something from someone every day. I remember it was close to the end of the school year. And I was at my locker, and Rodney's brother, Mark Canyon, came to me and says, Emma, why is Shabrita and, not Shabrita, excuse me, what was her name? What was this baby's name? I can't remember her name, but she passed away. I can't remember her name. But it was 3 young ladies. Let me not do that sign, because that is not the sign you want to do. It is 3 young ladies. It was 3 young ladies. He said, why are such and such and such a gonna jump you? They talking about they're gonna jump you after school. I was like, huh? Again, I'm shocked. I didn't do anything to anybody. I said, okay. And Emma just so happened had a razor, a rusty razor in her locker. And I said, okay, they gonna jump me. Somebody's gonna be bleeding and they're gonna be leaving in an ambulance. No, Emma, don't do that. No, Emma, don't do that. I hear you. Well, long story short, I went to class and the principal came and said, Emma, come to my office. I said, okay. And I went into the office, and lo and behold, the 3 girls were in the office. And he says, tell me what's going on. What did you say you were gonna cut somebody? I said, I did. He said, why? I said, because Mark came and told me that they were gonna jump me. And he was like, did y'all say that? And they all said yes. And he said, why are you 3 gonna jump on her? And one girl says, because I don't like her. When you think about what it is that I'm telling you right now in this video about the pettiness, the mind of immature individuals, and just how girls are, you will laugh at it too. You will laugh. This is funny. You're gonna fight her. You're gonna jump her because you don't like her. He says, okay, that's it. He says, how about this? He said, I'm gonna suspend all of you all for the rest of the year. Don't come back for the next couple of days. You're done. Emma was happy because Emma didn't have to go to the school anymore. I hated that school. Emma didn't have, yes, I don't have to go back here. I don't want to come back here. These people are ugly. They're mean. They're nasty. I don't want to come back here. That's where Emma's mind was. It was so bad at LMCA. I remember one day, I just had enough, right? I had enough. And I'm not going to tell you everything at LMCA because I want you to go and read. And I want you to get it yourself and read it. I want you to purchase the book and read it because this is my testimony to get you to open up about the things that you've dealt with in your childhood that you need to release so that you can become free. Sidebar. Emma was so over LMCA, so over it. I remember my mom picked me up one day and I was just crying. Emma was just crying, just crying, just crying, just crying. She was just over it, over it. And I remember getting in the van with my mom and I begged my mom, take me out of this school. They pick on me every day. They talk about my teeth. They talk about my hair. They talk about my clothes. Somebody is always trying to fight me. Just take me out of this school. She just looked at me. And she didn't say a word. And I went to school the next day. I hated LMCA. I hated, Emma hated LMCA with a passion. Again, if this is your GOD, you can keep them. Because this Christian school is no different from the Christian church Zion that I'm supposed to be, that I attend. Like, it's no different. It's no different. It's like, I'm bored. I want to pick on Emma today. I'm angry because my house isn't right. I want to slap on Emma today. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm going to put Emma on Front Street. That's literally what that was. I ain't got nothing to do. I have nothing better to do with my time. I want to pick on somebody. I want to pick on somebody. I want to pick on somebody. Let me pick on Emma. That's what it was. Don't pity me. Don't pity me. Don't pity me, because me telling my story is not for you to pity me. I don't want your pity. I want you to understand that this is what the church consists of. This is what people do that claim to be a part of something and someone magnificent and great and spotless and pure. There is a contradiction somewhere. This is not, you cannot be a part of the one that says to love your neighbor and treat your neighbors right. Love your brother and your sister as you love yourself, like you love yourself. No. I cannot allow you to keep putting yourself in the same, your nasty self in the same category with someone that is pure. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's just impossible. It is impossible to do. And when you start a self journey, a true journey of trying to find out who you are and whose you are and your purpose, and you come to clarity with what it is and where it stems from, your whole mindset and your whole attitude changes. When you have the pure love of the Most High, you don't act the way that you act. You don't talk about people. You don't bother people. You're not anybody. You're not in anybody's business. You don't try to make yourself a part of their business. You don't put your mouth on them, because now you're in a space of trying to get you completely together, because we have to go back to the Most High. And there is a way and a requirement that has to take place before we get back to our Heavenly Father. Keep on acting a fool. He docks it every day. Everybody, and I'm going to say this, everybody that is in this book, that plays a part in this book, you got to get yourself together. Everything that you did to her has been docked. Every word, every slap, every embarrassment, every laughter, every humiliation, everything. You have to write it down. He has to write it down. He's been writing it down. You're going to have to take accountability for your part in this girl's life. And don't get me wrong, she didn't have any direction. She didn't have anybody showing her. So her attitude literally became the attitude of those that did the things that they did to her. She had no representation. She thought that was the way to be. And so that's how she grew up. She grew up mean. She grew up loud. She grew up nasty. But here's the thing. It was always within reason. Always within reason. She just didn't go up to anybody and just be nasty just because I don't like you. It was a defense mechanism because of everything that took place in her life. No excuses. But that's where it stems from. That's why the back of the book extends a public apology to those that she caused harm and hurt. And when you become self-aware, you become aware of your emotions, your thoughts, your words, your actions. You have to. And you start looking at things like, I was wrong for that. And you have to get it right. But everybody is so saved and prideful. And pride is the thing, one of the things that the Most High hates. He hates a prideful person, a puffed up person. He hates that. We have to take accountability for our actions. We have to take accountability for our actions. LMCA, you're no more saved than Zion Apostolic Temple. Y'all have to check yourself. You have to check yourself. And I'm going to say the things that nobody wants to say, that everybody is scared to say. Everybody is nasty. And here's the crazy thing about it. All those kids that messed with Emma found themselves on the other side of LGBTQ. I don't get it. But we saved. And don't come on her saying nothing to me about no LG. Don't keep that to yourself, because I'm going to say what it is that I need to say. But we so saved, but this is where we end up. The hypocrisy is real. But we're not doing anything but fooling ourselves. We're fooling ourselves if we think we can keep acting like hyenas and we're gonna take the cloud to heaven, to the heavenly gates. We're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. And you are a fool if you think that's going to happen. The church is the worst place to be for so many reasons. The worst place to be because everybody is blind and they don't really understand what they're in. And they think because I'm a pastor or a minister or an elder or a prophetess or a prophet or that I'm closer to heaven than you are. And because I'm closer to heaven than you are, I'm going to treat you any type of way. We have to get it together. But I wanted to talk about LMCA and how it was no different from Zion. But more importantly, I have to expose the tricks of the devil. I have to expose it because everybody is fooled. Everybody is fooled. There are people that are wondering why are they acting like that? And then when you go out, oh, they act the same way as the people at the church, because there's no difference. There is a righteous way that we have to live. There is a righteous way that we have to treat each other. And if we don't have the purity of the Almighty, then we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And we're going to keep laughing and thinking it's okay and joking. Listen, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be again. But I'm going to end this video. And I am going to encourage you. Speak your truth. Don't hold it back. Free yourself of the mental torment, of the mental anguish. It is a lot of us that are in our 40s and 50s and 60s that are still holding on to things that happened to us when we were this age. And I think she was probably 13, 14. We have to release. We have to let it go. We have to face these things, and we have to take accountability, and we have to get our souls right with the Most High. You cannot say you're saved and you're acting like a dog and you're treating people and you biting them at the jugular vein and thinking it's okay and drinking their blood and then going back and sitting on that pulpit like you just clean, Mr. Clean and Mrs. Clean. It just doesn't work that way. I am proud of my work. I am proud of my growth. I am proud of my journey. And I'm going to keep growing. And I'm going to keep speaking. And I'm going to keep loving. And I'm going to keep sharing. And I'm going to keep encouraging. It's my job. It's part of my duty. Like this video. Share this video to those you think it will help. And click the link down below. Don't purchase it because I'm telling you to purchase it. Purchase it because you want to find out how to free yourself. How did she free herself? How did she get all of this stuff on book? Because I stepped away from the noise. and I honed in on me. That's a part of the journey. Being set apart is who I've always been, and now I'm moving in it. I love you all. Until next time, be favored.